Hello guys, welcome back to Total Frequency. I'm your host Bella. Today we're going to be deep diving into why wellness culture has become a little bit toxic and why this whole concept of being that girl is actually making you anxious and not really doing what it's supposed to do, which is make you feel good. So we're going to dive into this because I feel like this trend on social media has become such a big thing, and a lot of people just feel like they have to be that girl, they have to be in their wellness era, and I just think there is a lot of pros to it, but there's also a lot of cons that aren't really discussed. So I just really wanted to dive into this because I feel like I personally have fallen for this whole wellness trend and feeling like I have to jump on it, I have to be doing everything, and it has to be an all or nothing mindset. So let's get into it. Before we start, please, if you like this podcast, share it with people that you think might enjoy it. Give the show a rating, subscribe if you're on YouTube. It means a lot to me. This is really something I'm working towards this year, is growing my podcast, gathering my audience, my people that resonate really well with me. So if that is you, please welcome to Total Frequency. This is going to be a journey, and a journey that we're going to go on together. You will not regret this, I promise you. Okay, so I feel like online there's this big thing of like having a 12-step routine, and that's the only way for you to be a wellness girly, right? And I feel like it makes a lot of people anxious rather than feel good. I personally can't do that whole 12-step routine. Like, everything for me has to be quite simple, otherwise I'm not going to do it. And that's something I've just come to terms with. I'm like, I'm not a wellness girly in the sense that I'm doing a million different things at once, that I have a 12-step skincare routine, I take a million different supplements. Like, I have to keep it simple, otherwise I'm not going to follow through. And I know that, and I understand that about myself, and so that's something that I always make sure I do, is keep it simple. It doesn't have to be complex. Like, if you really want to go into your wellness era, it really does not have to be complex. It can be so simple, so easy. Just don't make it hard for yourself if you know that you can't follow through. That is my biggest tip. I feel like there's a lot of discussion about consistency, and a lot of the time we come across content that shows us that we need to have a perfect intensity and perfect consistency, when really it's all about having imperfect consistency, but you keep on building on that and you make yourself 1% better every single day. Like, you don't need to be perfect all the time. And it's like coming back to this all or nothing mindset. It's like, oh, you miss a day of doing your skincare in the morning, you're going to break out, you're going to have pimples. Oh, I didn't complete my wellness routine, I didn't have my vitamins, it's the end of the world. I think having that all or nothing mindset is kind of what sets us back when we're wanting to do this whole wellness thing. And I think that it's okay if you're missing days like that, or you accidentally forget to do something. Like, that's totally fine. And we need to come to terms with the fact that that is totally fine. And it's okay. And we can't always be perfect. We are humans. We constantly make mistakes, and no one is perfect. So I think having imperfect consistency is a lot better than having like chopping and changing, like being really consistent, then flopping a little bit, and then flopping for a really long time, because you get in that cycle of like, oh, well, like, I've let go, I'm just going to keep on being inconsistent. And then that just leads you down a road that's not going to get you anywhere. So I think we really need to be promoting more imperfect consistency, because that's really what's going to get you to where you need to be, especially if you're wanting to be that girl and be in your wellness era. You're going to have to accept that it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be days where you're going to forget to do things, you're not going to have time for things, and you just need to keep on pushing and being consistent even when things aren't going perfectly. I'm like out of breath. Why am I talking so much? Okay, I feel like on social media, like TikTok especially, it makes wellness culture be almost like this full-time routine. Like, people are getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, they're doing their routine, they're going to the gym, and then they're going to their 9 to 5s. Like, I think that often things we're seeing on social media can be quite unrealistic. Like, excuse me, a lot of the people that are posting on social media, like, not all of them, but a lot of people that are posting on social media are like influencers or people that don't, I know that there is quite a large majority of people that are posting and they still work a 9 to 5 job. Myself, I mean, I sort of work a different kind of 9 to 5 job, like not every single day, but there's a lot of people that are posting all these in-depth routines that they're doing, getting up really early and getting all this stuff done. They're probably not doing that every single day. Like they're going to have their days where they're not doing that, or they're going to have their days where they forget to do a certain thing and it's just not recorded. And I think we get stuck in that cycle of being like, wow, that girl got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. She did her whole wellness routine, her skincare, went to the gym, got all her steps in before her 9 to 5. Then she went to work and then she got home and she did all this journaling. Like, yes, like that can look amazing and we can achieve that in a day. But I think we forget that just because that person is posting that online, they're probably not actually achieving all of those wellness steps every single day. They're going to have their days where they're sick and they have a few days off, or they're traveling and they don't have time to do their whole wellness routine. Like, we need to remind ourselves of that. And often I get into that cycle where I'm looking on my TikTok or my YouTube and I'm like, wow, these people have these perfectly curated lives. Like, everything is so perfect and it's like almost like nothing goes wrong. But we need to be like, but that's just a snippet of their day, or like one day out of 365 days in a year that they're filming. You get what I'm getting at? Okay, we're going to get into the neuroscience because this is something I'm really learning about and encouraging myself to learn about more. It's a topic that I'm becoming quite passionate about, and something that I'm sort of teaching myself every day is the neuroscience behind everything, because it does really change your perspective when you put science into it, because it's actually like proven facts of why our bodies and our brains do certain things. And it's quite amazing when you put this into perspective, because it just ties everything in and you're like, okay, like this is actually proven fact from science and this is why this thing happens. So it is quite interesting, and I want to include like neuroscience facts in all my podcasts, because I know that really motivates me when I hear a scientific fact. I'm like, oh, okay, this is like real. This is real shit. Okay, so I need to read this off my phone because this is actually just something I've written down from my research. But the neuroscience says when you force yourself into a rigid, stressful routine, your brain produces cortisol. As we know, cortisol is the stress hormone. So when we're trying to just do so much and push an insane amount of stuff into one day, we're going to feel stressed. Like, we're going to be like on really high cortisol, really high alert, and be like, oh my God, I need to get this done, this done, this done, this done. Your brain's going to be running a million miles an hour, and it's actually not going to help you. I know that when I get into those routines where I'm like, I have to do this, and I give myself a really tight schedule, I feel super stressed, I don't feel good, and I start to break out and I start to fluctuate in my weight, and like it doesn't feel good. So we shouldn't be doing things that don't make us feel good. And one of those things is having an insane wellness routine that's not actually going to really help you in any sense. If anything, it's gonna make you feel a lot worse. And also another concept is, if wellness makes you feel super stressed and super anxious, your brain is subconsciously going to hate it, and it's going to be harder for you to do those good things, because your brain, in the back of your brain, it's going to be like, no, like this thing made me feel really stressed out and I don't want to do it, and it's too stressful, makes me too anxious, and your brain's subconsciously going to push it away and not want to do it. So if you're really getting into that mindset with your wellness, it's going to be so much harder to incorporate things into your routine. Okay, so I want to give you a concept that will hopefully help you come away from this podcast with a little something that might encourage you in your wellness routine. I think that often a little 5-minute routine is actually can have the same effectiveness as, say, like a 3-hour wellness routine. And the reason being is, obviously you're doing a 5-minute routine. That's so easy to incorporate that 5 minutes into your day. And that's not going to stress you out. It's not going to freak you out. It's not going to make you anxious. This could be like 5 minutes of meditation. It could be 5 minutes to yourself where you like put on a face mask, or 5 minutes where you lay in bed and read your book. And you just give yourself 5 minutes and call that your 5 minutes of wellness. Doing that is going to make you feel so much better than making this whole 3-hour wellness routine where you feel so stressed, where your cortisol is so high, and like you're not going to enjoy it. If you're stressed, you're just going to be like, oh my God, like I only have 3 hours to do this. I need to do everything. I need to get everything done. I need to tick everything on my to-do list. Like, it's actually just going to freak you out. And as I said, rise your cortisol, and cortisol makes you feel like shit, right? Wellness is supposed to make you feel good. So if a 3-hour routine with so many aspects to it is stressing you out, don't do it. Do the little 5-minute routine that actually makes you feel good and doesn't stress you out, because you're like, I can so easily fit a 5-minute wellness routine into my day. So you need to kind of like weigh those two options up and just be like, well, I don't feel stressed doing 5 minutes. I kind of panic when I do 3 hours because it's just too much to go through. So if you're like me, I just have a little 5 minutes in the day where I make sure I'm doing my wellness no matter what, and that makes me feel a lot better than trying to do 3 hours. So with our wellness routine, we're wanting to be mindful and not just mindlessly doing a bunch of things that are supposedly supposed to help you, because that's not really going to be beneficial. Like, you actually, when you are doing your mindfulness, you need to actually be so focused on that rather than just like doing it for the sake of saying that you did it. Like with meditation, if you're just sitting there and you actually can't feel relaxed and like your brain is just running a million miles an hour and you can't focus on the meditation, and you do that for 10 minutes and you're like, oh yeah, I did the meditation, it's good, it's done. Like, it's not going to benefit you, as opposed to if you actually felt something from that meditation and really reflected on it and it really helped you. So you want to make sure that the mindfulness activities that you are doing are actually like doing something. Like, same thing with journaling. Like, if journaling isn't doing anything for you, try something else, because mindfulness needs to be mindful. That's why it's called mindfulness. It can't just be like mindlessly doing these things that are supposed to help you when they're actually not doing anything for you. And that's all I have for you guys. I'm very passionate about wellness, but I feel like obviously I've gotten to a point where I've realized like it needs to be intentional, it needs to be effective for me, and it's not just me doing wellness activities for the sake of being that girl. Like, they actually need to find what works. Everyone is different. Some people can do so much. Other people, like me, like, I just need a little bit and give myself a small time frame so that I'm not freaking out about getting it done, and I know that I can achieve it no matter what's going on my day. So you just need to work with yourself, figure out what works for you, and go from there. Like, don't make it hard. Just make it super simple. Your body loves simplicity, so please follow that. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for joining me on Total Frequency. As I said, if you're listening on Spotify, please rate the show. And if you're listening on YouTube, maybe you can comment down below some more ideas for me to talk about on my podcast. But I really enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys did too. Please share this with anyone that you think might benefit from it. And I'll see you in the next episode. Love you guys. Mwah.